I am making this video in response to the video I posted earlier about the hidden NES Golf game contained within the Nintendo Switch. This video was never intended for the mass crowd. The purpose of making the video was for three reasons: as proof that the game existed, visual instruction of how to launch the game, and most importantly, to respect the man that this inclusion was meant to honor. I will address these points in a moment, as well describe what is happening in the video. But first, I have a few important things that need to be said. Please bear with me. To Nintendo, thank you so much for including this tribute to Satoru Iwata. I cannot begin to express my gratitude for his efforts to gaming and his influence on this industry as a whole. He has brought countless smiles and good times to millions around the world, year after year, along with all the other employees of Nintendo under his guidance. I would like to apologize if any disrespect was felt revealing this hidden tribute, whether it was meant to remain a secret or to be revealed as a surprise at a later date. This was never my intention, nor do I believe anyone else involved in discovering the secret sought to be disrespectful either. I would also like to request that Nintendo leave this tribute in the Switch for others to enjoy in the future. I, along with many other gamers, will be looking forward to July 11th in 2018. It gives me great comfort and joy knowing that he lives on not only in my Switch, but in every Switch that exists around the world today. We miss you, Mr. Iwata, and your unmatched charm. May you live on in the hearts of all gamers. Now, I would like to address the previously posted video. This story has been developing over the course of several months. I alone did not discover this hidden gem. It was found due to the collected efforts of many in the gaming community. As I mentioned earlier, the video was never intended for the masses. I never anticipated how much attention this video alone would gain. My purpose for making the video was to help show that the game did indeed exist, and as visual instruction of the process to launch the game. A few pictures had surfaced of the game running on the Switch, along with one or two short video clips. However, skepticism remained, and it was discounted as a fake. After I was able to launch the game, I sought to help those that were unable to get it to work. The video was posted to the forum in which the game was being discussed. I did not expect anyone outside of those that clicked on the video in the forum to know that it existed. There have been several comments on the last video that I would like to address. Some had asked why there was no vocal instruction. To answer that, I would like to remind you all that this tribute was meant to honor the life of a man who has passed on. I was compelled to respect him by honoring his great tribute in silence. Playing music or talking is not acceptable conduct during a moment of remembrance, whether that be during a funeral service or visiting a shrine or temple. I hope you all understand the importance of honoring the sacred space of those that are no longer with us. During the video, I displayed some of the gameplay. Of course, the game was not being played properly, and no disrespect was meant. I was viewing the screen from directly above, at an awkward angle. This was done so I could show the Switch and the motion gestures required to launch the game. Also partially a limitation of my setup to record the video. Reading through the comments, I see there is quite a bit of confusion. I will do my best to outline what is happening and how the game is executed. The golf game on the Switch is a rework of the original game for the NES. As to why this game was chosen specifically, we still do not know. Apparently, Mr. Iwata did some magic and created a compression method that enabled the entire 18-hole game to fit on an NES cartridge. But for the game to have been chosen specifically as a tribute to place on the Switch, it must have had some greater significance than we currently know. Hopefully, Nintendo will enlighten us at a later time. The other very important thing to note about this hidden secret is that the activator is an iconic motion gesture of Mr. Iwata. He would make this gesture towards the camera and the viewer during Nintendo Direct announcements. Past that, I feel that this might have been a greater part of his character. I imagine this was something he did more often than we are aware of. Why else would it have been chosen as the gateway to activate the game? The video may seem to be a little longer than necessary, and I agree. Again, it was not meant to be viewed by the masses. There was skepticism that the photos and short videos that had already been posted of the game running on the Switch were faked. For this video to prove without a doubt that the game existed, I left it completely unedited and lengthy to show that the game was real. Included in the video was 7 attempts to launch the game, which shows the difficulty in executing the gesture properly, and extended gameplay. I will now explain the conditions required to launch the game. The date on the system must be set to July 11th. This is the day of Mr. Iwata's passing in 2015. You do not have to set the year to 2015, but the day must be July 11th. However, there is a slight complication. If your Switch has ever been connected to any network for internet, it will automatically search for a network time. This value is then stored in the system on the Switch. To be clear, this is an area of the memory that the end user does not have access to. The reason many of you have failed to launch the game is because the network time has been set, and the operating system continues to count time from that point forward. So unfortunately, setting the date manually will not work in this case. Erasing your save data will not work, nor will restarting the console. Not even a factory reset will clear the area where this network time is stored. It also seems that there is one more element to activating the game that we are yet to figure out. As it stands right now, only those that are still in firmware 1.0.0 are able to launch the game. Nintendo must have made a change in firmwares past 1.0 that keep the game from launching. There are a few accounts of developers who have looked into the Switch's operating system code and have been able to modify the stored network time and get the game to launch on systems past firmware 1.0. I do not have access to this information, nor do I believe it will be revealed anytime soon. Hopefully Nintendo will not remove the game, and we all will be able to participate in this great tribute in the future. When that time comes, in order to launch the game, you will need to replicate the iconic Iwata directly to you gesture. This entire motion is supposed to take 1.5 seconds to complete. No button presses are required. You begin by holding the Joy-Cons in your hands and placing your arms to your side, then lifting them to your chest. You hold your hands there for a brief moment, then move your hands away from your chest. The buttons on the Joy-Cons need to be facing in opposing directions, and the attachment rail must be facing your body. When you move your hands away from your chest, you need to be sure that the Joy-Cons are kept in a vertical position. Refer to the video to see how I hold the controllers and execute the motion. This all has been very touching and inspirational to me. For the longest time, I've sought to create a gaming channel that would be clean fun for all and bring happiness, just as Mr. Iwata has done. Later on, I will make a video explaining what I would like to achieve with this channel. For now, I would like to leave this moment where it stands in honor of this event. Thank you all for viewing this video and paying your respects. Hopefully this tribute will serve to gain more respect for Mr. Iwata and the efforts he put into the games we know and love today. This is Fire 3 Element, signing off.